Me being single at my age didn't come from bad decision making, stupid. It came from me never finding the man that I wanted to be with. Me being single at my age didn't come from bad decision making, stupid. It came from me never finding the man that I wanted to be with.
Okay.
I don't know in what delusional world y'all men live in where you think that it was all of these wonderful, great men running around when we was in our 20s and we just passed up on all of these great guys. The attractive men when we were in our 20s were doing what attractive men do, which is be players, talk to a whole bunch of different women, and never want to settle down. You do understand that, right? So, given that the attractive men in their 20s didn't want to settle down, that left us with ugly dudes, dudes with kids, and dudes who didn't have themselves together. It's the same thing now that I'm older. The options didn't go from good to bad, it went from bad to worse, right? Now, instead of dudes just having kids, they got kids and grandchildren. And if you think some of them was unattractive back then, add on now the fact that some of them is out of shape, they ain't got no hairline, and they missing side teeth. They wasn't financially stable in their 20s, and a lot of them still ain't financially stable. Some of them still paying child support from the same babies that they was having when they was in their 20s. Y'all gotta start being for real. These podcast lies that all of these men was gonna get older and they was just gonna become these rich men, that didn't happen for most of them. Sorry. A lot of the men in their 20s who was doing all that settling down and getting married were undesirable men. Men on the verge of losing their hairlines. Men who didn't have no bunch of options of women to choose from in the first place. That's the reason why it was so easy for them to settle down.
What?
And just like anything else, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. And I'm sure some women got lucky and they were able to find desirable men to settle down with in their 20s. But the exceptions don't make the rule. And I'd argue how many of those women and men are still married to this day. How many of those marriages actually lasted? Shout out to the ones that did. I know how y'all like to rewrite history and pretend as if it was all of these wonderful, great men for us to choose from in our 20s, and we just wanted to be outside and we wanted to party with our girls and we didn't want to settle down. That's not what was happening. The options weren't there back then.
CAP. Cap.
And you're still in the same position. The dudes who older, who are still desirable, they still don't want to settle down. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. It just gets worse. That's the part you're missing. So there's nothing that I can warn the younger girls about except letting them know that if you think it's bad now, it's gonna get worse.
It's over for you thoughts. It's over. It ain't that time. It's over for y'all. The other thoughts made it bad for you.
Nah, this right here is crazy. Yo, I never heard a person say, me being single at my age is not because I made bad decisions. It's because I wasn't able to find a man that I wanted to be with. Now, let me give you guys some context. I believe she's either 40 or close to 40, right? You trying to tell me that since you've been on the dating market, since you was, let's say, 18 to 40, you couldn't find a man to marry you? Bro, these women will get on here and say anything that's clever to a fool. Obviously, you made some bad decisions, lady. It's been 2 decades and more, and I'm pretty sure you've been smashing dudes. So you trying to tell me, so all the dudes that you smashed or ran through in over 20 years, you couldn't find at least one to settle down with? Tell that to a fool. Now here's the reality. This is the case of what happens to a woman when she wants what she can't have. This is what happens when women chase after the players, only to realize the players is not trying to cuff. This is what happens when women ignore that one good dude who was trying to marry her. But in her prime years, she didn't want that good dude. He's lame, he's boring. And that's all it really is, bro. It's a simple case of when a woman chases after the players, she's going to end up older, lonely, and single. This is why I always tell you guys, pay attention to what a woman does in her prime years. If a woman gives her prime years to the streets, this is going to be the outcome. If a woman gives her prime years to a good man, she's going to be a wife. That's just what it is. That's just reality. Now, ever since this lady made this video, people have been exposing her. Check this out.
I make a motherfucker say, oh yeah, I'm cold as a lion with no hair. If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear, cause that bitch gonna need it.
This post right here is for the fellas. I want to ask y'all a question. Y'all know who this woman is, right? Dana Dane, right? The woman that gets on here like she floats above everyone else. Let me ask the fellas a question. Y'all hear her all the time talk about how she is celibate, how she's not dating, how there ain't no good men on her level, right? Right. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think when she looked like a fucking beluga whale, she had that same mindset and that same outlook on life, them same standards? No. This is why I keep telling y'all, be careful about women that get online claiming they're not dating or they're celibate, right? Because more times than not, what they're trying to do is they're trying to snap back their coochie. They think that if they stop getting plowed and being used as a human trampoline, that somehow the vagina is going to snap back. It don't snap back. Once you create a hallway, it is a hallway. My point is this. Guarantee you, when she looked like this, she would sleep with anybody. And she probably got ran through. But now that she looks a little better after surgery and all that other nonsense, now she gets online thinking like she floats above everyone else. Fellas, whenever you hear a woman claiming she's not dating or celibate, that's AKA, I used to get used as a human trampoline, and now I'm not anymore because now I got values. Now I got standards, right?
That boy is good.
Good and terrible.
I mean, he's not lying. But she told y'all that. She told y'all she was going after the attractive men, and the attractive men were players. But think about what's really going on here. It gets deep. This is no disrespect to her, but I'm just judging from what I'm seeing. In her prime years, it seems like she was overweight. But here's the problem with that. She was on the bigger side, but she wanted the players. She wanted the attractive men, even though she was on a bigger side, even though she wasn't disciplined enough to be on a diet to manage her body weight. She probably was just outside having fun. And the thing about big girls are usually aggressive because they got to go after a guy. A guy's not going to really go after a big girl. So naturally, they become very aggressive. And the sad part about it is this. When a big girl go after the players, the only thing a player is going to do with a big girl is use her.
Don't nobody but broke niggas and motherfuckers who got out of jail want a fat bitch.
And I think this chick, like he said, probably just been getting ran through her entire life. It gotta be. Think, because in the prime years, and like she was like a dime piece, and like she was like a 10 or like an 8, or you know what I mean? She was on a bigger side. So her view on life is completely different to a woman who was in a prime and she was in shape, she was on a good diet. You know, she was just higher quality. Versus a chick like her who is low vibrational and her value is low to men, at least back then. But it's what I always tell you dudes, man. I always tell you guys this though. I said, yo, if a woman is a bird at 5, she's still going to be a bird at 50. A woman mindset never changes. And like I told you guys, the thing about when a woman is on a bigger side, she got to go after what she wants. And even though this chick is grown, she's still doing the same shit. She's still chasing after the players.
That's where I go. For you,
You told me I'm cool. Like, I'm
You
cool.
cool, man. You cool people, man. I don't persuade women to. Man, you know what? I have met so many women that be on that abstinent journey and all that. It be sounding good. So I'm not here to try. One thing I don't do is try to persuade women to go away from their belief. I don't do that. Like, I think bad.
That's
So
just that.
you just gonna keep being on my live and shit, playing with me and just be on the fence.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. I'm curious though. You just play on the fence. Like you play on the fence. Like you just like I
How
seen
y'all
you.
play? What fence am
No,
I
no,
playing on?
no. Don't backtrack now. You made one post. You went to the second post. You said, "Hey, look, handsome privilege." You basically said like, "Hey, I like to see attractive men, and I see him. I dip in there. I poke at him a little bit. And I go about my business." You gonna keep poking, then you gonna get poked back.
Oh, Lord. Again. A fucking again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fucking
See, this is why you should never listen to a woman's words. You should always pay attention to a woman's actions. If a woman spent more than 2 decades in the streets and couldn't find a man, whatever is her excuse, ignore it. Pay attention to the action. The action is this is a woman who got a thing for the players. She's not looking for a husband. She's trying to domesticate a player. So her entire life, that been her chase. And y'all gotta understand, with social media, a person could get on a platform and say whatever they want to say. And regardless of what you say, whether it's true or false, it's going to be a bunch of people who are going to believe it regardless. So I always tell you guys, yo, Bird's going to have a lot of following. Matter of fact, I think she be speaking up for men. I'm not quite sure, but it's like women who be doing that, to me, are not genuine. They're just trying to make some money. But the point of the matter is, this is a woman who refused to take accountability for her actions, but instead, her thing is, the reason why I'm single at this age is not because I made bad decisions. It's because I haven't found the type of man that I want to be with, even though you ran through a whole bunch of dudes. Come on, man. It is what it is, man. But let me know what y'all thought about this. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. It's your boy AyeQ. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hype the video up. I'm out.
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. Y'all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch.